grammar. So the previous 3 classes that I taught about reported speech, I think that you get benefited from my class. I try to teach in a such a way that it will be easy for you to understand it at the grammar portion. So today I'm going to the same class as well, but today my class is about voice. We are going to study about voice. This is also one of the important parts of the grammar for the learners to understand about it. So I just want to go to this about the voice over that. There are 2 types of voice that we study. One is active voice and the other is passive voice. So first of all, you must understand what do you mean by active voice. Active voice, you can see here, performs the action. In active voice, the subject, you might know that the subject performs the action. That is an active voice. For example, Hari teaches English. Hari teaches English. What is the action going over here? Teach. And who is doing this work? Hari. That is, that subject is doing the work, performs the action means doing the work. That is, it is called the what? Active voice. Okay? If the subject performs the action, that is called the what? Active voice. That you should not forget. Passive voice means receives the action. You can see here, receives the action, takes the action. The action, the subject does not do the action here, but the subject receives the action, means takes the action, that it happens upon the subject. But the subject does not do the work. Okay? That receives the action. Then you must understand about that. How do we come to know about that is the passive voice. So the most important thing that you have to understand in passive, verb must be past participle form or the B3 form. The verb must be in B3 form. Or the past participle, that you should not forget. And so before the verb, before the past participle form of the verb or the B3, there must be the be verb. I am giving over here, look at here. There must be the be verb. What are the be verbs? Aim is, are, was, were, be, being, been must be before the B3. Then that becomes a passive voice. That becomes a passive voice. That you should not forget about it. What am I telling you? The verb must be in past participle form of the B3, and before the B3 form or the past participle form of the verb, there must be the be verb. They are aim is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Don't forget about it. Okay, so that is why we have to understand. I have given another note to you also to make you understand the voice of a verb that tells whether the subject of the sentence performs or receives the action. Accordingly, that the voice that has 2 types. One is the active voice, another is the passive voice. And another important thing that I have told you this, to become passive voice, the verb must be in P3 form, okay, or the past participle form of the verb. And before the B3 form or the past participle form of the verb must be be verb. It means that before the B3 form. What are they? Aim is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Don't forget about it. So now let's go active and passive voice. In detail we are going to study. In active voice there is given the example, see over that. Ram killed Ravana in Ramayana. What is the verb in the sentence? Killed. Who killed? Subject. There is a question of the who killed Ravana. The answer is Ram. You already know about that. They were cutting a tree. What is the verb? Were cutting. Were cutting a tree. That is they. So we have to understand about that. Ram and they are the subjects in a sentence. And down here you can see that subject performs the action. The subject is doing the action. That is why it is known as the active voice. I hope that it is not difficult for you to understand. Now in passive voice, now let's go. Ravan was killed by Ram in Ramayana. Here the subject is what? Ravan. What is the verb? Verb is was killed. Okay, Ravan was killed by whom? Look it over here. I am just showing to you. That is over there. What is Ram? Who killed Ravan? Ram only. Did you understand what I am talking to you? Okay, so what we are going to study over that one, you understood or not? Ravan was killed by Ram in Ramayana. Subject is Ravan, but that killed is an action that is done upon what? Ravan. Ravan is taking the action or receiving the what action. Okay, so that is why that Ram only doing the action. That, okay, that you must understand. A tree was being cut by them. A tree was being cut by them. What is the what subject? A tree. The verb is was being cut. Try to understand about that. And what was being cut? A tree was being cut. Okay, so by whom? Look it over that. By they only. So what I want to mean from these two that you can understand here, the subject receives the action. The subject receives the what? Action. Okay, so that is we must understand. But in two examples in the active voice and the passive voice, try to understand. Here also, who killed Ram? Ram only. Here also, who killed Ram? Ram only. Who was killed? Ravan was killed by whom? Ram only. That is why you must understand in the active voice and passive voice while we are changing that you must understand the form could be changed but the meaning will not get changed. The meaning will not get changed. Okay, that you never forget about it. So the meaning in the active voice and the passive voice becomes same. That remain the same. Meaning will not get changed. Only the form gets changed, that you must know. Okay, now look it over here. This killed is here. Here also the killed. But this killed is the B3 form. Why it is in the B3 form? Because it is in passive. And how do you know this is in passive? Because there is the bebop before this what? Killed. That is was. I have already said over the what? Bebop means aim is are, was, were, be being been. So that is why that killed is in the B3 form and before it there is a bebop that is was. Same way here being caught. Look at over the caught is the B3 form and before it there is a what? Bebop that is being. So that is I am telling about that. In passive the verb is in the B3 form. Before this there must be the what? Bebop. They are aim is are, was, were, be being been. You should not forget about it. Okay, that is the rule about the active voice and the passive voice. That is the way to understand about the active voice and passive voice. Now let's move to another slide. Boys, see the verb and find which voice it belongs to. Simple, you have to understand about that. When we are reading about boys, then always you have to see the verb in a sentence. The verb you have to see in a sentence. Looking at the verb, then we can understand that which type of voice it belongs to, either active or passive. So when there is, we are going to solve the question of the boys. When we are talking about boys, then the first and foremost thing that you have to look at verb. From the verb we can understand that which voice it belongs to. understood what I want to mean. Because I already told you about that. When the voice is in passive, again I try to understand what I'm talking to you. If the voice in passive, then you must understand about that the verb must be in B3 form. B3 means past participle form of the verb. Only then that becomes a passive voice. Otherwise, that verb or sentence is not in passive. And when the verb is in B3, then you must look another rule, that there must be the B verb. There must be the B verb before the B3 or the past participle form of the verb. What are the word B verbs? Aim, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. These are the B verbs. So these B verbs must be before the B3 form or past participle form of the verb. Then that can become a passive voice. Otherwise, that is not passive. Means that is an active. So concisely I am telling about that to make you understand that we have to see the verb. The verb must be in B3 form or the past participle form of the verb, then that can be passive. Otherwise that is not passive, that is active. Simple rule. And sometimes when the verb is in B3 also, then look it over that if the verb is in B3, then before this there must be the B verb. If there is B verb, then B3, then that can be passive. Otherwise that is active. Now, when there is the active voice, change into passive. When there is passive voice, then change into active. If you want to do conversion of this voice. So here we are going to learn about that. When we know that this is the word active voice, then we have to change into passive voice. When we have to change into the passive voice, while changing into the converting into the passive voice, then you must understand about that the verb must take an object. There must be an object. The verb must take an object. Okay, so what are they? The object means noun or pronoun. After the verb there must be the noun or pronoun, that is an object. If the verb does not have an object, if the verb does not take an object, then we cannot change into passive voice. If you want to convert from active voice into passive voice, you should not forget. Now I am going to tell about that. There are two types of object. One is answer of what. That answer of what is thing or animal. For example, I am given over that I ate what? Rice. That rice is an object. Rice is a thing. Rice is a thing. I ate rice at home. That rice is an object. Means the verb is ate. That ate is taking the object rice. Try to understand. Second object is over there answer of whom. If you ask the question of this, when you get the answer of whom, that must be a person. For example, I teach whom? Hari. I teach Hari in his school. Hari is an what object? Did you understand or not? So what do you understand from it? From this what rule that we come to understand there are two types of objects. There are two kinds of object I am giving in the thoughts box. Two kinds of object. One is direct object. Direct object means this answer of what? I am showing the mouse or the mouse pointer to you, thing or animal. Another is indirect object, that is answer of whom. So in this there are two types of object. One is the direct object, another is indirect object. And I already said over that the verb must take an object, and then we can convert into the word passive voice from active voice. If there is not an object, we cannot change into passive voice. Now what I want to mean over this, look at the verb that takes an object. I already said the verb takes an object. Only then if there is object, then we can change into passive voice. The verb that takes an object is transitive verb, and the verb that takes no object, that is in what? Intransitive verb. Okay, that is we have to understand. The verb that takes an object, that is called transitive verb. the verb that doesn't take in what object, that is called intransitive verb. So now we have to understand about that. The kinds of the verb also, there are two types according to the object. What are they? They are transitive and intransitive verb. And what did I say to you? Just think about it. The verb that takes an object only can be converted, means it can be changed into passive voice. You should not forget. It means that only the transitive verb can be changed into passive voice, because that verb which takes an object is called transitive verb, and that verb must take in what? Object. Did you understand or not? Okay, means we have to understand we cannot change into passive voice of the intransitive verb. For example, I would like to tell about that. Ram laughs. Ram laughs. What is the verb over there? Laughs. Now there cannot be answer of this who and whom. What and whom. Hari is walking in the garden. Hari is walking in the garden. What is the verb in the sentence? Is walking. Now what is the answer of this what? There is not. What is the answer of where? There is not. There is whom? There is not. Answer in the garden is the answer of where. But we need the answer of what and whom. So that is that verb walking is an intransitive verb. So we cannot change into the voice of that sentence. That is why you must understand over that there must be the answer of what and whom. Okay? Only the transitive verb takes an object. That transitive verb, when it takes an object, only then can be changed into the what? Passive voice. Intransitive verb we cannot change it to passive. Now let's go to the another boys rules that I am giving you. What is the rule? First of all, I told you to see the verb in a sentence. Because the verb must be in B3, try to understand. The verb must be in B3 or past participle form in passive voice. If that verb is not in past participle, we cannot change into the that is in cannot be in active voice. Okay, look it over there. There are given in the verbs rule over the present, past participle, and present singular. This is the plural. Try to understand. A B1, B2, B3, B4, B5 to make you understand. What are the verbs forms? Eat, ate, eaten, eating, and eats. Walk, walked, walked, walking, and walks. So this verb form should be there. We have to see this form. Okay, if there is B3 form, that can be in passive. Otherwise, if out of this B3 form, if there are present, past, present participle or present singular, then 100% that is not in passive voice. Now let's go to the what? Another rule. Then when if there is the what? This past participle form, B3 form, then be sure of the presence of be verb there, am, is, are, was, were, being, been. These verbs you never forget. Before the verb, then it can be in passive voice. Otherwise, that sentence is in active voice. Understood what I am telling you? What I am talking to you? The verb must be in B3 form, this form, and before that there must be the am, is, are, was, were, and being, been. Then can be passive. Otherwise, that sentence in active voice. Simple rule that you never forget it. Now let's go to this another slide. Okay, we have understood and now let's go. Boys, so what is this? Which is the verb in the sentence? Farmers grow more rice. Which is the verb? The verb is Marconi invented the radio. Which is the verb? Write down, write it in the copy, or you just think about that. We'll discuss about it. Because we have to know about which is the verb in a sentence. Have you invited us in the party? Which is the verb? A tiger is haunted by Nora. which is the verb in the sentence. You are sat by his dog, which is the verb. Let it be done by him, which is the verb. I've given you the 6 over here that I'm asking you this, which is verb. Let's go to the number 1. Farmers grow more rice. There is grow. Marconi invented the radio, which is verb. Invented. Have you invited us in the party? Which is the verb. Have and invited. Have and invited. A tiger is haunted by Nora, which is verb. Is haunted. You are saved by his dog, which is verb. Was saved. Was saved. Let it be done by him, which is verb. Be done. You must know the verb. Okay, grow is which form of the verb? Which form? Try to write over in a copy. Invented over the grow is which form of the verb? B1. Invented which form of the verb? That is what? B2. Have invited. That invited is which form? That is have plus B3. You must keep in your mind. The verb 3 have verb. Have means have verb. They are has, have, had. Again I'm telling you. Has, have, had. So these have verbs always take the verb 3 form. These have verbs always take the have verb 3 form. Try to understand. Have always take the B3 form. But it is not this B3 form, but it is not passive voice. Because I told you this is B3. The verb must be in B3, but before that there must be the B verb to be in passive. But here is not B3 B verb, there is have verb. That is why it is an active voice. Is haunted which form? I think that you can guess it. Let's see about that. Is B3 form. Now just understand about that. This B3 form. B3 form is also B3 form. But here it is have plus B3 form. But here it is plus B3 form. That is why this is the B verb. Try to understand what I'm talking to you. Aim is are, was, were, do, be, being, been. So this is the B verb and B3 form. That is why it is passive voice. This is active. Have plus B3. But this is passive. Why it is passive? Because there is B3 form and before it there is B verb. Now let's go to this part number 5. Which form is it? Was shaped. Now I just tell over that was plus B3. Again there is B3 form and before this there is was. Was is which form the verb? B verb. Aim is are, was, were, being, been, been. So that is why after this there is the B3 form. So it is the passive voice. Now let's go to the last one. That which form? Again I'm telling over that B plus B3. See B. Again I'm repeating you that you must learn by heart. What are the verbs? Which are the B verbs? Aim is are, was, were, be, being, been. So if these verbs are used before the B3 form, this is passive. Otherwise, that is an active. They are not in the B3 directly. We can say this is an active voice. But there is B3, then it may get confused. That is why you must understand. If this is B3, then before this there must be the B verb. But here is not a B verb, so that is why an active. But if there is the B verb, then that is a passive voice. Okay, so now let's go to the what another. What do you understand about that? B verb plus B3 is passive voice, otherwise active voice. time to time I'm telling you. Be verb plus B3 is passive voice, otherwise it is active voice. Okay, identify the verbs again. What are the verbs? So look it over there, 1 to 10. I'm discussing with you what are the verbs in the sentence. Just note it down in your copy, so that we can seek it out, that whether you have become perfect or not, to know the verbs. I already said to this, we are reading about voice, that is, the verb is the most important element in voice. Okay, let's go. What is written over that? Has cooked. The number 2 is filled. Number 3 is did and invite. Bob, you already know. Number 4, made. Number 5, was given. Number 6, told. Number 7, may be finished. Try to understand. May also, be also finished. Number 8, was written. Number 9, was invited. Number 10, what? Grow. These are the verbs. Okay, now let's go over this one. What do you understand? From there also we can understand why we have to know about the verbs. We have to learn about the verbs. Okay, now we go to the another slide. Identify active or passive voice. I'm again giving the what? 10, because from the beginning that I'm teaching you which type of sentence is the active voice or which type of sentence is the passive voice. You must understand. Now find out the active voice or passive voice from this what? Examples 1 to 10. Write just only number 1 active passive, number 2 active passive, like that only. You don't have to write the whole sentence. Just you go on writing from 1 to 10. Okay, now let's discuss about it, whether that is active and passive voice. I already said to you, what is the rule? We have to see the verb. Okay, number 1 is what? Passive voice. Why is it a passive voice? Because there is and what? Offset. Offset is the B3 form and is. And now let's go to the what? Second one, active voice, because spends is the B5. That is not a B3 form. Now we go to the active voice because should have stopped. Look it up. Have after have verb, there must be the B3 form stopped, but there is have verb. There is not a be verb. That is why it is an active voice. Number 4 is also active voice. There is can and start. Okay, there is can and start. That is also active voice. It is. And now we go to this what? Why was such a late written C of the passive voice? Because there is was and written. Written is the B3 and was is what? B verb. Number 6 over that, the clock is thought. That is in passive voice. Why? Because that is and thought. Thought is the B3 and before it there is B verb, that is. Number 7 you can see are and assisting. Assisting with B5 ing verb. That is why it is the B5. It is not B3. So this is active voice. Number 8, people all over the world speak English. The verb is speak. Speak is B1. That is not in B3. That is why it is also active voice. Number 9, is being carried. Carried is B3. How do you know this is B3? Because there is a B verb, that is being. Try to understand about that. So being carried, that is why it is the what? Passive voice. If there is B verb plus B3, then that is passive voice. Number 10 over that, he dispense or his pocket money to his to his what children. That dispense is the B2 form That's not the B3, that is why it is the what? Active voice. So that you must understand. Now let's go to the what? Another over there exercises. Okay, 1 to 10 that you have to write. Identify the types of sentences. What type of sentences they are? Because you already know there are the 5 types of sentences. Because I already gave you the hints in the what reported space. I taught you there in the reported space very detail. And now tell me what are the types of the sentences. Just tell me the types 1 to 10. You already know. Again, I want to repeat you. There are the 5 types of sentences. One is statement, declarative, and assertive. Second is imperative. Third is interrogative. Fourth is exclamatory. And fifth is optative sentence. So which type of sentence they are, that you have to write. And dear learners, that without study, without learning, or without practicing, it will be very difficult. So that is why you have to practice once, twice, and thrice. At least look at my video and try to catch, try to note, and once in a day that you have to watch it, or you have to look at that one. Okay, Onward does not close the door. Which type of sentence? Statement or assertive or declarative. Why it is this? You have to watch that word reported speech in the what class. Can you write a letter? What is that? Yes, no question. Or we can say interrogative sentence. It is. In interrogative sentence also there are kinds. That is one of them is yes, no question. The third one is exclamatory sentence. Why it is called exclamatory sentence? I already taught you. Number 4, that is over the imperative sentence. In the previous class, that in the reported speech you have to watch it and then you will get it over there. Or how the sentences are, these are kinds. Number 5 is what I understand of the statement, he cannot speak English. Do not close the door, that is the what? Imperative sentence. Number 7, who closes the door, that is the what? WH question. Number 9, that is may you defeat your rivals, that is the exclamatory sentence. Please write a letter, that is the what? Imperative sentence. So this one I would like to tell about this. Okay, this one I want to see this one. May you defeat your rivals. This is the what? Optative sentence. Optative sentence. That is I'm telling. Okay. So now what I said over this one. Okay, imperative. Please write a letter. Imperative sentence. Kindly close the door. This is the what? Imperative. It is a request to you. So these are the types of the sentence. Now tell me, identify the objects, either direct or indirect objects, whatever. 1 to 10, you have to just write out the what? Direct or indirect object, or we can say the object only, you have to pick up and write it. 1 to 10, object only. Because you already know, direct means the answer of what, indirect means answer of whom. I already said that there are 2 types of object. So that is a direct object or indirect object. Which one this is? Okay, now let's go over that. Which one? The solid. Object is the solid, that is the direct, because it is the thing. The second is a sound. It is also direct because it is a thing. That is him, that is indirect object because it is a person, whom. So again him, that is indirect object over there. The police took him to hospital, whom? Him. So I made a bad mistake, or bad mistake is a direct object because it is a thing. So someone is giving me a book, that object is me and indirect object, and another is a book also, giving me what? A book, that is the direct object. There are 2 objects it is taking. It is taken. This hurt him badly, him, indirect object. Help the poor, help whom? The poor, that is the poor is the what? Person, that is why it is the what? Indirect object. Alan was buying a new car, that is what this, buying what? A new car is the answer of what? That is why what? It is the direct object. taught you English. What is that? I taught you English over there. Then you indirect and English direct. This means this taught verb also taking the two objects, that is both direct and indirect object. So in this way we are learning about the what objects. We are learning about the what types of sentence. We are learning about what I said about that. Active or passive voice we learned. We are learning about this. What we are learning about there? We are learning about the verb. So this way we are learning about it. Okay. So in this way, I would like to tell about at least that you come to understand that is active voice and what passive voice. Okay, learners, thank you very much for you all. I think that you watch it. And now this is my YouTube channel. You have to like, share and subscribe more and more. That your activity encourages me to make more and more classes about the grammar, that I would like to share my knowledge to you all. Thank you very much, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe more and more.